I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Lucas. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, re-reviews, commentaries, out of blueness, whatever, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a cheap, low-budget film, went straight to VOD, called Jurassic Games. And I'm not sure how I feel about this, because I can't say I really think it's a good movie, but I can see there's a bit of ambition there that makes it better than the average crappy Asylum Sci-Fi Channel type of flick. Although I don't agree with the movies uploaded, and I looked through the comments section, one person's like, this is better than The Running Man. I went, what? Someone thinks this is better than The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger? But, I mean, you look at the rating on IMDb, it gets a rather low rating. I can understand why. But the idea is kind of interesting in a quirky B-movie way. The makers of the film does attempt to put some satire into it and some bit of style into it. And I think if you had characters that you gave a shit about, or at least characters that were interesting, or at least actors that knew how to act, you know, that theme with actors, they can act, that would help a lot too. It's just one of those, like, what ifs, like, what if you did this, what if you did that, it would be a lot better. But is it the worst of the worst? Honestly, no. But I don't think it's some hidden gem either. So I'm kind of in between on it. I mean, you know a movie has a bit of tongue-in-cheek when the opening starts with a quote in text from George Carlin. Let's use capital punishment like some use sports as a distraction. I mean, when you start with a quote from George Carlin, may he rest in peace, I mean, you know the film is not trying to take itself that seriously. And it's trying to be a mix of The Hunger Games, Jurassic Park, bit of The Running Man, Fortress. Like, it's a lot of movies you will think of and go, well, those films are better. I'd just rather go watch them. But it's an amalgamation of all those where it takes place in the future, where there's this popular game called the Jurassic Games, where they get a bunch of prisoners, so kind of like Death Race. They get a bunch of prisoners, and you are put into these VR headsets, and you're transported to a VR realm. In other words, it looks like a desert or an indoor place, but there's dinosaurs chasing you. And there's 4 stages, and if you survive at the end, and you're the lone survivor, you get out. Now, and you also have these explosive collars, kind of like Suicide Squad, or Like the beginning of The Running Man, where you have the explosive collars. So most people say Suicide Squad. To me, I go with The Running Man at the beginning of that film. And again, the amalgamation, okay, you have prisoners, the VR motif at least makes it tolerable that the CGI is not the best. And this is not good CGI, but with Asylum Sci-Fi Channel, like this type of stuff, it's above average for that kind of realm. I don't know how best way to put it. It's CG that nowhere near a film with a budget, but it's CG that, while it's not good, it's better compared to a lot of direct-to-video films. So if you look at the direct-to-video realm or VOD of dinosaur movies, it's better than average on that front, to be fair. And then also the fact that it's VR, you know, well, looks like a video game. Well, it takes place in a video game. So I thought that was a smart enough decision to give that an out. Granted, the environment looks picture perfect reality, but not the dinosaurs. So it's one of those, well, if that's the motif, why not make the whole world look off kilter as well? But the whole world, the environment looks crystal clear perfect, but not the dinosaurs. So they're really good at the environments, but not the... I know, but still, the fact is VR, you can... Damn, maybe these VR guys should be fired. Stop working on the goddamn environment. You make that looks picture perfect. Work on the goddamn dinosaurs. I think they should have had a character mention that in dialogue. I think that would have worked even better for satiric and humor. How much that thing cost? $5 or $10? Like some kind of, I think that would have helped better with that. But again, at least there's an excuse, if that makes sense. And the game show host comes in. He's wearing this weird skull thing, telling them the rules and the collars are explosive. You die here, you die for real. Because if you die here, in reality, you're strapped in. We'll give you a lethal injection. So win your freedom. You've seen this stuff done quite a few times in a similar fashion, just not exactly done this way. So that's it. If nothing is truly original, try to put a little bit of spin on it. But even then, as it starts, there are issues. I mean, it's a short film. It's not too long. I mean, the dinosaurs for this type of cheap looks a little bit better than average in terms of CG. They do try to be a little bit ambitious. Like in the real world, they're satiric. Like they do this spiffy, stylized introduction to each of the characters with graphics and statistics. There'll be the fake YouTube where, oh, this is what this person did. They get into jail. This is what this person did on the fake like TikTok of it, this world. Oh, there's a commercial for action figures. You get this action figure, and the kid is like, I'm innocent. And you get this action figure coming soon to a store near you. So that's what I mean. Like, doing stuff like that at least brings a little bit of that. Not nearly up to the level of RoboCop, Running Man in terms of satire, but at least they're trying a little bit, which is more than I can say for a lot of filmmakers. But on the flip side, I'm looking at this and going, why do you allow the people to be able to kill each other? I think in this world, for these viewers, if they're watching the Jurassic game where dinosaurs or even a carnivorous plant at one point, a like saber-toothed tiger and pterodactyl, you would want those things or the environment to kill them off, not them killing each other. So why would you not make it a rule you guys can't kill each other? Because that makes it cheaper. Because you're not going to see a whole lot of the dinosaurs. So, oh, have it be like a shitty, even a shittier version of The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Although that film I'm more mad about because that had a bigger budget. That was a theatrical film. And it stars Stone Cold Steve Austin. That should have been better than it was. This, the title, the cover, which is a complete lie, because you look at the cover, there is no guy looking like a SWAT team with a military guy with a gun. No, there's none of that. There is a gun in it. It doesn't look like that. This is one of those films, if you had a decent enough budget, and you had good actors and good characters, you could remake and make a fun B-movie out of. Because what hurts the film the most is not just some stuff like, why do you let the humans kill each other? Even in this world, I would go, well, this game sucks. Like, I don't want them to just kill each other. Just go watch, turn the channel, go to Death Race. And you're thinking, well, where are the cameras that they're filming all this stuff? But it does showcase in the real world that there's these little cameras. But within the VR world, I guess they could tune in to any place in the VR world to show whatever. The acting sucks. The characters suck. And that hurts the film the most. Because you don't care. If you don't care about anybody, then why should I care about the film? So I'm just watching it, I wonder what they're going to do next in these stages. I wonder what dinosaur they're going to put in there next. I wonder what other obstacle they're going to put in there next. Because there's 10 people. There's our lead, who's like a dime store version of Gerard Butler, look-wise. Not acting-wise, but look-wise. It's like, if you got Gerard Butler that was cost you 30 cents. That's what this guy is. And he can't act. He's boring. He has no charisma. He has no presence. And his character is the innocent guy. He's been convicted, but he's really innocent. He's our lead. One is this evil bitch who you come to find out did kill that guy's wife. One is a cannibal that likes to bite people on the neck. One's an Asian guy, so of course he knows martial arts, and he tries to do martial arts on raptors. One is another lady who is like a Black Widow, not Scarlett Johansson Black Widow, but like she'll lure men and then stab them, kill them. Two brothers who are like redneck guys. One guy who promises those two guys, you get me, I'll help your mother, she's got cancer, I'll provide money for you. A black guy who's the second to die, and then some old white guy with glasses who dies within like 30 seconds and gets eaten by a T-Rex. And there's not a lot of gore. You would think this would be a film that could be littered with gore, if this is what you want to do for the audience. No. One guy gets his head blown off, and it looks fucking pathetic. And there's that part, it's in a VR world, it's not going to look good, because they don't have the budget. And then in a VR world, you could kind of be like, okay, but it still looks like shit. I'm like, even for these people make this VR world, if a head blows up, CGI some CG blood. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Instead, it just pop in a puff of smoke. Like, it looks so fucking pathetic. It's like, even me trying to condone it with, well, it's in a VR world, it's fucking thin. I'm like, come on. Even in this world, it doesn't make sense. They would at least put some fucking CGI blood in there. But anyway, they go through the 4 stages. First stage, there's a T-Rex. They're trying to run amongst these rocks to get to the safe point. Again, the old guy gets killed right away. The evil bitch tries to hang the lead guy. The Asian guy helps him. The black guy tries to kill someone. The lead guy protects himself and kills the guy. Outside, there are people who are protesting. You talk to the lead guy's kids. The lead guy's kids, the 2 teen kids, are like 2 of the worst actors in the movie. And once in a while, there'd be a clever line Like the behind the scenes, the people going, where the hell are the dinosaurs? Well, we want to build tension. Screw that. Our viewers don't care about tension. They just want to see folks die. So I thought that was a clever line. And then like when, oh, action figures, commercials, like that type of satire. Okay. To that, it's at least trying to do a bit more than just the bottom of the barrel laziness. But the lead guy sucks, the characters suck, the actors suck, you don't care about anybody, you're not invested in any characters. So then you're sitting there and you're going, I don't care if anybody or everybody or nobody dies. And that hurts the film quite a bit. For it to be a gem or underrated gem, you need someone to cheer for. Even if you put in like a Martha Costos or a Thomas Jane or an Aaron Eckhart or Carl Urban or Danny Glover or I'm just Arnold, Sly, Van Damme, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, Brandon Lee, the General Lee, whoever the fuck you want to put in to a lead of a movie, it needs to be someone that you can appreciate or like or enjoy or root for. Otherwise, for me, what's the point of the movie, especially of a survival story, if you don't care about anybody? So that's where ultimately this film fails. But at the same time, it didn't get me mad in the fact that, okay, there's a little bit of ambition for its low budget. I would say stage 2 is the best stage because I like the idea of being in this maze. You're in literal maze, always filled with raptors. And only one person has a gun, and that one person happens to be the innocent guy. Which makes sense, because if it was the guilty, they would just kill everybody. I'm the sole survivor. Get me the fuck out. But I guess, technically, even if they did that, they'd go, well, you have to survive stage 2, 3, and 4, then you could get out. But, being in the maze with raptors around each corner, I don't mind that idea. I really don't. I just think I wish it was utilized in a better movie. Again, the one guy tries to do martial arts and then he gets eaten. Stage 3, there's like a little bit of a minefield. One guy gets eaten up by, or at least his face fucked up by a carnivorous plant. One guy gets picked up and dropped on a mine. A pterodactyl picks him up and drops him on a mine. Which got a little bit of a chuckle out of me, I will admit that. One guy gets his head blown off by the collar. Which even for the VR, it's a really bad, pathetic effect. It is. By the end, you get like 4 left. The boring, innocent lead, the cannibal guy who likes to bite necks, the lady who likes to kill men, and the evil bitch. Dime store Gerard Butler, cannibal guy gets eaten by bugs, looks like a shitty version of the bugs from The Mummy. And that's the thing about this movie. Every once in a while, it would have something kind of clever where behind the scenes, like the behind the scenes stuff is more interesting at times than the game itself. Where here's the action figures and some of the lines that they say behind the scenes, and they have this woman crying, "Oh, my husband!" Cut, and it's an actress that they hired for the camera. Oh, and the host behind the scenes, "Oh, good job, good actress. You even made me believe." Okay, that was clever. Spoiler alert, the evil bitch hits the one lady, so the saber-toothed tiger kills her. The 4th stage is them tied up in like the middle of the desert. There's 3 T-Rexes. They have to get to safety. The 3 T-Rexes start fighting each other. And hey, you get to see 3 T-Rexes fight each other. That's that's not too bad for this kind of movie. And again, CG is not good, but it's better than how these films usually are. I think the evil bitch deserved a much more evil, gorier, fatalistic fate than just they're running, he makes it, her head blows up almost off screen because you barely see it. I thought that was really lame for a lady that you really want to see a much bigger, better comeuppance. Like she should have, the T-Rex should have like bit her top half off. Like where's the gore? Like if this is such a low budget, at least bring in some visceral gore. And if you're a VR, you can make that fucking happen in any way, shape, or form. Bring in some gore. Bring in some blood and guts. Bring in something, man. Come on now. What the fuck? At least. Maybe this is a rant. I don't know. I don't know how I'll title this. I don't. And then maybe I won't, and I'll just see if people just assume I love it because I didn't put rant in the title. Maybe I'll do that. It's like, did you watch the video? So the lead guy, he survived. Behind the scenes, one of the workers, she's with these rebels. They're gonna take over because this is an awful game. They put the host in the game. He gets eaten by a dinosaur. He gets killed. Lethal injection in the real world. People in there get killed, and then the security team comes in, and all the rebels get killed. The only guy who survives is the lead, who's wounded. But then I guess they still let him go because he's back home. And even though he went through that shit, they're still watching the Jurassic games, or it's on the TV in the background. If you went through this shit and you're innocent and all this crap happened, would you and your family still watch the Jurassic games, or would you turn the shit off? And apparently the rebels, their plan meant nothing, because it's back with a new host and a new game. Now the dinosaurs have weapons as if they're the Dino Riders. If you remember back to the day, Dino Riders. And the movie's over. I'm like, wow, so the rebels, all that shit meant nothing. Imagine the Running Man ended, and then 5 minutes later, well, there's another host, and we're having a new set of characters for the Running Man coming this fall to a network near you. It kind of made the ending seem worthless. Like what was the point of all that? With this bad slow motion, rebel shooting security team and back and forth. It meant nothing. It led to nothing. So it's like, wow, this was a scene that was fucking useless. So I don't think this is a good film. I think technically it is a rant, the more I think about it. It does have a couple of clever moments that make it above some of the worst in terms of asylum sci-fi. It does have a couple interesting ideas. I think the CG is a little bit better than typical of these kind of films, but horrible cast, terrible acting. Even with a VR motif that you could just use it, there's still like the head blow. That's still pathetic to look at. Even within that world. And also within that world, why do the environments look perfectly crystal clear, real, but the dinos look shit? Even that doesn't fly. Should have made the environment look the same off as the dinosaurs, and then have people comment on it. Must have cost them a couple bucks. Was it $5 or was it, again, that should have been more implemented in. And have a lead worth of shit, and just, I mean, there's many worse films you could see, but I would never see this film again either. And the low rating on IMDb, I think, is justified. It's understandable. So, take that for what you will. So at the end of the day, yeah, I don't like the film, but there are a couple merits I can give it. So, there you go. It's not the worst dinosaur film I've seen, sadly, by far. There's a little bit of ambition. There's a lot more work that could have been gotten into the writing and the further embellish a lot of the ideas in this picture. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.